Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 13th. We are just going to jump right in here, Sagittarius, and we are going to see what is coming up for you at this time. And let's see here. You have this Beyond the Ordinary card. Could represent, just something new entering into your life. You have this Openness card as well. So let's see where this is going. I'm noticing a lot of people in your reading in general, and you have the Ten of Cups, card of community. You have this co-create card as well, as I've been saying for weeks now, months. Teamwork makes the dream work, especially, again, just look at the astrology. To me, there's tons of stuff in the astrology that's all like, if you work with other people, you are going to be more successful in love and business and everything. You have this Beyond the Ordinary card, so I do feel like there could be like a new beginning coming in for you that is unusual, that is different in some way, that is not ordinary. Even the Magician is pointing to the Seven of Pentacles, to the Four of Swords here. This is like a good planning energy, I would say, and it's also like an energy of analysis. The Magician is pointing towards the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, he's looking at those pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth me putting all this work into these Seven Pentacles? I feel like some of you need to think about it. You have the Four of Swords right here. It's like some of you would be a good idea to think about whether or not a situation is still worth your time or not. I want to clarify that card here as well. Yeah, you have this Higher View card. This card reminds me of the Hangman. And so I feel some of you need to kind of like gain a new perspective here. You have the Magician, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Cups here. For some of you, this could be a love situation where I feel like you're like just looking and seeing like, am I getting enough out of the situation? Sorry about the banging. They're doing some work out here, but I got to get readings done, so it is what it is. But what I would say here is I feel like for some of you, it's kind of like you're asking, is the juice worth the squeeze in a love relationship? And again, there really is no good answer here because I feel like you're going to be thinking about it. Four Swords. It's like, you're just going to be thinking about it and saying, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. There really is no answer. The Hierophant is kind of like, you have this Higher View card. The Hierophant is the bridge between the universe and the earth. He is the connection between heaven and earth, basically. So some of you are probably going to be tapping into your spiritual side, asking the universe for some guidance on, something here. The Magician could be a new beginning as well. I really feel like you're very powerful at this time with that Magician as your first card. I mean, the Magician just says we get what we speak out into the universe. With the Magician, you have the Nine of Wands here. I do feel like you need to set some boundaries here in a situation. For some of you, if this is a current relationship that you're in, I feel like you will be communicating with the person that you're with and being like, this is how things need to go, and if it doesn't go that way, then we're gonna be moving on, right? So I kind of get that feeling here. With the Hierophant, you have the King of Wands here. King of Wands, very bold, very assertive. He really goes for what he wants. So for a lot of you, I feel like you are kind of getting ready to, it's like you're wanting to step outside the box. The Hierophant can represent living under certain rules or regulations for a certain amount of time. And I get the sense of like wanting to be free. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Four Swords. Again, a lot of thinking in this reading. I feel like it would be a good week for you to like meditate, for you to do any spiritual practices that you do. It's going to be different for all of you. I'm sure you all have your own thing, right? But if there's something you consider spiritual, I would do it. Some people, I'm choking on my own spit here, Sagittarius, but for some people, that could just be going for a walk. And you're going for a walk in nature. That could be a spiritual experience as well. So I feel anything that you can do to connect to the other side, or to connect with your inner voice or yourself, would be a good idea here. Next, you have this Openness card. I feel like you just need to be open to everything and anything, that could be coming your way at this time. This card is like a card of the full moon, and, kind of full moons are a great time for innovation and trying new things. I think it would be a good time to try new things. You even have the King of Pentacles here. King of Pentacles is a card of convention, just like the card of the way things have always been done. And the King of Pentacles can say, like, are there new ways to do things? Seven of Pentacles, is there a better way to do the things that you're doing at this time, right? Seven of Pentacles, it's like maybe he's been working at a job for like 20 years, and it's like if he looks at it, he's gotten raises for all 20 years, but maybe because of inflation he's not making as much money. Maybe he's making less. It's like I feel like more and more people are going to realize that they're not actually making more money, they're actually making less than they were making when they started. So why is that a good thing? Because I feel like people are going to change. People are going to look for better opportunities. People are going to create their own opportunities as well. And so for a lot of you, this is probably changing something for an improvement, especially if things have been the same for too long. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a certain amount of wisdom as well. It's like, I feel like you're really kind of almost looking at the value of something here. Again, if you've had a job for like 20 years and if you're realizing that you really aren't getting paid more, maybe it's like the same amount or less even, I feel like you're going to say to yourself, well, I have a certain amount of wisdom here because I've been here forever, and that's worth something. It's worth more than what I'm getting now. You do have the Emperor here. The Emperor does say that you could go to your boss. You could go, and it doesn't matter what gender your boss is, but the Emperor does say you could go to your boss or a higher up and get a raise, get a promotion, that there are things you can do, to do that. And if they say no, you can make the choice to leave. Like I said, you can make the choice to do something else. But again, something has been the same for too long is what you are realizing with that King of Pentacles. I feel like you're just open to new ways of doing things. Same thing in business. It's like if you've been doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're probably open to doing something new. Same thing in love right here. This middle row, Hierophant, marriage, right? If you've been doing the same thing in your relationship, you probably want to change things up. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, card of teamwork. We see a lot of teamwork opportunities for you here, Sagittarius. You have the Co-Create card, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. These are all cards of working together with other people. I feel like that would be a great idea for you at this time, and it would probably lead to more success. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Judgment card here. I like that. Judgment is like a second chance. So again, if in a job situation, if you're saying, you know what, it's not worth it, juice is not worth the squeeze, Judgment to me says you could go to your boss and say, I need more money, and you'll probably get it with this card here. Or maybe you have an old business idea that pops back up in your head and you're like, I'm going to start that business. I'm going to start writing that book. I'm going to do whatever. So I feel like something is kind of, you are awakening to like a truth here. And the truth that you're awakening to is that you can get more out of a situation or that there is more available to you. With the King of Swords, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you're ready to take action, actually. Knight of Pentacles is no action. It can represent being too cautious and not taking action, but I kind of feel the opposite for you here, Sagittarius. I feel like you are ready to take action. It's like you're saying to yourself, I can't live like this any longer, and your life might be fine, but I just feel like, sometimes I feel it's like if we awaken to some sort of truth, like, oh wait, I'm not actually getting paid my worth, then we want the change, right? Then we want to create the change. So I feel like you're just creating change. Same thing in love as well. It's like if you're realizing that your relationship is slipping away, you could do something about it. You can say, hey, maybe you can talk to your partner and say, hey, this is slipping away. What do we need to do to keep this going? Co-create right here, right? Work together with people in your life so that you can keep something going, so that you can keep something alive. I always tell people, if you're in a relationship here and maybe it's slipping, it's probably a better idea to put in the work. I always tell people, it's like, you do not want to be dating right now. The dating world is a goddamn bloodbath, right? It's like, it's a mess. It's a disaster. So it's like, trust me, if you are in a relationship that is mostly positive, and maybe it's just slipping a little bit, figure it out. Like, put the work in with the other person. Obviously, as I always say, yes, if the other person isn't willing to do the work, there's nothing you can do. But if they are, then I would, to me, it's much better to do the work than it is to not, right? And yes, it is work. I feel like that's something people don't realize about relationships, is they just think, oh, I'll get in this relationship and then I don't have to do anything. It's like, no, you have to keep putting in the work. And yes, it is work. Nobody puts in work anymore into relationships. They just let them die, and they just divorce and, get into these weird cycles. So what I would say is, don't do that. Don't be a statistic, right? I would be uncommon for sure, which is to stay married if you can, right? If you can't, obviously, then, sometimes it just doesn't work. I totally understand. But if you can fix it, then I would fix it. For others, again, I feel like you're just fixing yourself. I feel like you're, kind of waking up to something here with the Judgment card, like something that is more worth it. You're the second sign this week that has had something about breathing new life into an old idea. And I get that feeling for you, but working together with other people will probably make it more successful. You have the Emperor, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Swords here. I feel like a lot of thinking. I feel like meditation time really valuable for you this week, so I would take advantage of that. But I also feel a lot of happiness. Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty. Ten of Cups is also happy home, happy family. So I feel like there could be a lot of happiness coming in for you. I feel like a lot of enlightenment as well off of that card. Just like good things coming in for you here. And I feel like you're ready. I get this really strong feeling that you're ready to charge forward. Like I realize that this isn't your card, but I do feel that this is your energy. I feel like you're ready to go. You're ready to, take action on something here, Sagittarius. So let's see. What that is. With the Emperor, you have the Eight of Swords. I would stay open, again, to more than one way of doing things. Eight of Swords is just simply only looking at one way of doing things and not realizing that there's a million ways that you can accomplish something that you want to accomplish in your life. So I just stay open to all the possibilities here with this energy. Again, it seems to be a very common energy this week. Like I said to someone else, one of the other signs, we're stepping into this retrograde time. We're about to have Mercury retrograde at the end of September. So it's like we're kind of in the shadow this week. The shadow is like 2 weeks before. So, we're getting into the shadow, or we are in the shadow, depending on when you're watching this, of Mercury retrograde. Sometimes with Mercury retrograde, I think we can stick to what works, right? What worked in the past, especially in work or business. We're like, if we start to notice a dip in work or a dip in our business, we might go back to an old thing, right? Not necessarily a bad thing during a retrograde, because that's the point of a retrograde, is to revisit things, go back over things. And who knows, maybe if you go back to an old idea, it might not work out during the retrograde, but you might also discover something that does work. So I always tell people, it's like a retrograde isn't here to punish you. It's here to show you something that maybe doesn't work, but then you do discover something that does work. So, don't be afraid to do the work. It drives me nuts when I hear people say, oh, it's a retrograde, don't go on dates. Oh, it's a retrograde, don't start a business. Drives me crazy. Because it kind of says you will only have one good business idea. You will only ever meet one person who is right for you. It's a very lack, kind of mentality. To me, we should be going on dates during retrogrades. We should be starting businesses, starting projects during retrogrades. Will they fail? Will they end? Will things continue after the retrograde? Maybe, maybe not. There are plenty of things that I've started during retrogrades that I still do to this day. Does that mean they're going to last forever? No, but I've also had a lot of failures during retrogrades, and that's the whole point. Is that you should be taking advantage of the retrograde energy. You should be learning from the period by failing. Yes, you should fail during a retrograde as many times as you possibly can. It's like, think about it this way. It's like if you go on dates during retrogrades and they don't work out, it's like you are speeding up the failures. It's like you are getting it out of the way sooner than you normally would. So it's like, take advantage of the energy. And I get that here for you. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. I do feel like some of you are heartbroken, but it feels like the past to me. So I feel some of you could be heartbroken over a past relationship, but there is love here. With the Four of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely a second chance coming in for you. Judgment, Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, though, I feel is saying, I would take more control of your life at this time. And, I would be careful of someone coming back from the past here, for sure. Judgment, Wheel of Fortune, those are the only two cards in the deck that I consider to be cards of an ex coming back. And I am not one of those readers that thinks you should take your ex back. I would say don't, right? I can't tell you what to do, but for the most part, I would say don't take an ex back. Are there rare circumstances? Somebody always tells me about their Aunt Betty who, got married to their Uncle Joe, and, they broke up, and, they were on the Titanic, they got lost, they broke up, and they got back together. I'm like, great, that's probably not going to happen for you. So that's what I'll say there. But what I will say is that for some of you, I feel like you need to realize that there are multiple options for you. Yeah, Page of Pentacles, new love coming in for you here. Let's see. The Ace of Pentacles, much better offer coming in for you here, Sagittarius. and the devil. I would be careful of this past person right here that is showing up, for sure. But I do feel there could be new love coming in for you. I'm pretty sure, it's kind of funny because I'm pretty sure like every single fire sign had the devil in the last row. I pulled an extra row for at least Leo. I'm pretty sure had it right here. So that's interesting. It's like good news coming in for you. Yeah, you have the Five of Wands here. This is like an opportunity. The reason the Five of Wands and the Page of Pentacles can represent a new opportunity is because the Five of Wands, these people, it is a card of conflict and competition, but those people, they are not fighting. They are learning how to fight. They are using sticks. They're not using swords, right? So it can represent learning how to fight. And I feel for some of you, this is an opportunity. Ace of Pentacles. To go on a new adventure and probably, discover new things. And Page of Swords. Someone can't let go of you here, Sagittarius. I would let go of the past person. For a lot of you, I feel like new adventures are going to lead to success. So that's what I'll say here. A pretty good reading, actually. I like it. So thank you for being here, Sagittarius. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.